What's up, guys? Thank you so much for joining the podcast. We hope you are having a great day made better by us at the Daps and Pounds show. Dobie, what are we talking about today?
Today we asked the question, is it pianist or pianist?
Pianist.
That's what we get into. Actually, no, we break down the Grammys. That's basically what we really chat about. We got some big news for you guys. You probably see it in the title, so I might as well say, yes, we are on Spotify. Google Play is on the way. We break down that new music for you. We got some Gucci Mane. We got some Benny Blanco. Not too much drop this week. That's why we really dive into the Grammy aspect of everything. But we think that you will really enjoy this episode. We hope so far that your holiday season has been amazing. Keep it locked. Episode 45, season 2. Let's go.
Two mics, two friends, one show, let's go. Two mics, two friends, one show, let's go. Let's go, yeah. Two mics, two friends, one show, let's go. Let's go, let's go. Two mics, two friends, one show, let's go. The Daps and Pounds show. This is the Daps and Pounds show. Yeah, you know.
What's up, everybody? How are you doing today? We are here. We have made it. It is me. It's Malky. To my left, we have
Dobie.
Represent two mics,
Two friends.
and one show.
The Daps and Pounds show.
We did it, guys. Episode, what number episode is it? 45.
Season 2.
Season 2, episode 45. I'm excited. Everyone's excited because why? The holidays. It is the holiday season. We have Christmas coming up. We have New Year's coming up. Then there's a little break. And then we have, what's the next holiday? Valentine's Day, I guess, if you count that as a holiday.
Yeah.
I
New
don't know.
Year's, Valentine's.
Some people don't count Valentine's Day as a holiday. But I love the holidays because everyone's in town, everyone gets together, and everyone hangs out just a little bit more, it seems. So I'm a big fan of it. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in and choosing us for your holiday time right now. If you want to hit us up online, where can they reach out to us, Dobie?
You guys can hit us up on Daps_Pounds on Twitter and Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the big news, we are now on Spotify. So yes, Spotify. So if you're an Apple user, an Android user, a window phone user, I don't even use a phone. I only use a PC. It don't matter. You guys can find us on Spotify. Search the Daps and Pounds show. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to us, so you can get our content there. We are actually also in the process of getting reviewed for Google Play. So if anybody out there, you Android users who are using Google Play, we will also be in that platform as well. We will still be on iTunes and Stitcher as well. From our feedback, most people don't really use Stitcher, so because of that, we were super excited to be able to get on Spotify and here soon get on Google Play. So that is super dope.
Very dope. We're coming up on 2 years of this podcast, which means that we got to make some changes. We got to make some waves. We're going to be moving in new directions and trying to take the podcast to the next level in 2019. Part of that was getting on Spotify. Part of that is getting on Google Play. The goal is to give people no excuses not to give the podcast a chance. So now if you are on Spotify, like I had someone tell me today, they hadn't listened to the podcast in a little while because they were listening on YouTube. There's no video on YouTube anymore, so they haven't had the time and they haven't downloaded Apple Music on their phone. They haven't downloaded iTunes on their phone or Apple Podcasts. So they've been missing it, but they text me and said they're really excited that we're on Spotify now, so that they can listen again. That's what it's all about, making sure that we are available for as many people that want to listen to us. So now we are iTunes, Apple boys, we're Spotify boys, we're Google Play boys, we're Stitcher boys, and you can still listen to the audio on YouTube if you like. Daps and Pounds, ENT.com, as Dobie said. We're excited.
Wondering if we need to do the Indeed search to try to find who at Tidal we would need to talk to see if we could get it in, because their podcasts are a gated community.
Yeah, I looked into Tidal and I saw that Spotify was like that at one point.
Yeah, and that's
but
why
recently they
changed it.
They changed it. So I don't know. I don't even know how podcasts do on Tidal. Like, I don't know if a lot of people use Tidal to listen to their podcasts, but if you are out there and you use Tidal to listen to podcasts, let us know. We would like to be everywhere. We would like to be in as many places as we can.
My thought is because of the exclusivity, we might get featured if we were somehow able to get it in.
Yeah, that's possible as well.
Because I feel like our show where it is, it's in a good place. Can we always get better? Of course. But I think we got our timing down with everything. We got our subject material down with everything. I know some people say they miss us just talking about a bunch of bull crap and like top 5 and stuff like that. But I like the pace. Maybe one day if I feel like right now with where our show is, I like where it's going. But if there comes a point where, Lord willing, we actually get income from this, I think that is something we would probably look into, maybe making it a little bit longer, maybe not trying to go. And I mean, because I don't always listen to all of Joe's podcasts, but I'm not mad when I see it's like 2.5 hours.
Yeah. And I think having a captivating podcast is part of it. And from what I've heard feedback wise, people do love when we just shoot the crap and just hang out and just talk about random stuff. People like when we talk about music. This is a podcast, like I said, though, that's going to be always evolving. We're trying to get better. We're trying to reach as many people as we can. So consider Twitter your comment box. Consider Twitter your suggestion envelope. Hit us up. Let us know what's going on. DM us, talk to us. We will show you love. We will reach back out to you. It's important. So shout out to everybody that's already using iTunes and that's going to be using Spotify here really soon to listen to the Daps and Pound show. Really cool stuff planned for 2019. And we're still working out the exact dates that everything's going to happen, I guess.
What's really cool that we've planned for 2019?
So for 2019, are you talking about the best of? I
don't know.
Okay.
What are we doing?
Oh no. I'm just saying, we are going to take the time during the break to a lot of cool things.
Malcolm is a master genius. I give certain creative ideas, but genius. Honestly, Malcolm's a master genius. He's our business guy. Literally, we are the perfect duo. I really could see us doing big things in the future. When it comes to dude, I wish we had just our own A&R group.
I do too. I wish we had a musician that we knew that was up and coming, that was good, that we could pick records for, an A&R project for, and it just be big. That'd be cool.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah. So if you're a musician out there, hit us up. We actually, when we were still doing video on the podcast, way back when we started, we talked about it would be cool if like this was the place that young people that are unknown would like to come and stuff like that. So hit us up if you know people out there. And we've debuted music. Shout out to the homegirl Haley who wrote the article about us, and she had an artist that she's working with, and we gave that a listen and gave a review on that. That one dude, I forget his name all the time, Sean, that we played his whole song on here, and he gave us love back for it. So shout out to Suede. Shout out to people who listen to Jay Adams, people who listen to the podcast, give us feedback. We love it. So shout out to you guys.
It's a small community, but
that's how it starts. And I've looked around enough and researched, It's the Real and the Joe Budden podcast and the Read. And unless you have a lot of ad dollars behind you and you're selling ads, all of these podcasts start out extremely small. All of these podcasts start out with a small audience and everything like that. So
that's what we said from the beginning. Consistency is key, and here we are almost for the third stinking year, bro.
Third year. We're going to be starting doing this, and this has been something that we've been wanting to do for a long time, and then we actually kind of finally did it. So yeah, we're excited about the things to come, though, for sure. And we have really cool ideas planned for in between our season break and leading into season 3. We're gonna definitely give you guys a wrap up of 2018 in a special way. Still picking dates, still thinking about adding to that, but it's gonna be really cool the way we do it. Won't let all the cats out of the bag for that yet, but it's going to be pretty cool. So
basically, we will be on a break, but
Mm-hmm.
you will still receive content even though we're on a break.
yep, and it's going to be cool, and I think everyone will like it. And Complex put out their best of list and stuff like that. So it tis the season. I remember last year we were in that dilemma of, is it too late to talk about this after the break? Is it too early? But now I feel like this is going to be when we're dropping everything, is going to be like a good little cushion where it's still relevant enough and things like that. So it'll be pretty cool. Let's dive right into good, bad though, because we have some cool stuff to talk about, and that stuff is Grammy nominations. I will say that I'm excited because the Grammys get bashed a lot for the nominations every year, and I will say this year is one of the more accurate years I've seen. They've done a pretty good job the last couple, I think, if I'm being 100% honest. But, you always have those albums that they'll miss, but it feels good. I feel pretty good about where stuff is. There's some stuff I wish that were on there, but overall they did a pretty good job, and we're going to break down the categories that we care about and talk about that. So good, bad to start us off so you can get to know more about your co-host, Dobie. Good, bad. What's good? What's bad?
What's good? Just living the vida loca. Not really, but we're out here.
Inside out,
Living the vida loca.
it turns and turn you out.
I don't remember the song anymore. Basically,
That's a smash.
let's see here. Good. I saw Incredibles 2. That was fun.
Incredibles 2. Good movie.
We're out here. Without Jack, I feel like that movie would fall flat on its face, personally.
Did you feel like, because I saw the movie too, curious, when I saw the way that Jack was being used, I felt like Disney was like, oh, it worked with Groot. Let's try to make it work, because they played those characters off similarly when he was a kid, like the teenage in Volume 3. I
could see that.
Yeah.
I think they learned. I think they saw it just with the very end with Jack. Like, oh, this could be something. Because the premise was there at the very end of the movie. So honestly, it picks up in the proper way. So it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. So that was good. Bad. Mary's windshield has cracked.
Ooh.
In her car, and apparently it keeps splintering.
Did you have to call what's it? Safe Flight Repairs.
Safe Flight Replace. Yeah. No, we're just riding through right now. We'll just leave it at that. Christmas shopping for me, we pretty much almost have everybody done. Got my wife done.
There you go.
All that stuff. And the good was, have you ever had that gift where you come across it not expecting to come across it, and then you're like, yo, this is the perfect gift.
Yep.
They're going to get super hype about it. Oh, wait, it's already a percentage off. Oh, wait, I just found a coupon for another $20 off. Oh, wait, did I just literally get the best Christmas present for the best price ever?
Yeah.
That's kind of how it felt just earlier. So that was good. So that'll be fun. And then I always forget, you write them down. And I'm like, I should do that more.
I don't. I haven't written them down for a couple weeks. I need to start back.
So, it's pretty not crazy stuff going on. Pretty non-eventful. Fortnite Season 7 started. So, playing that every now and then. Nothing too crazy with that, though. And I think it's hilarious how YouTube Rewind is getting bashed. It is the number 2 most disliked video of all time by YouTube.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
Which means they're tone deaf. And I was reading some tweets how one of the guys who was in the video, he says what the issue is you have creators wanting to actually make something that highlights all of YouTube, but then YouTube is like trying to make a video to show everybody, like, isn't YouTube great? Look at all this money and like ad revenue that you could be getting, because this is a great place to be here at YouTube. Look at all this positivity.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was interesting. I think that's pretty much it with my life.
Okay.
I'm not seeing anything else. Fantasy football. I think I'll win. I'll lose. I have 4 leagues. 2 of them I really don't care about. I'll win in one of those, lose in the other. The 2 I do care about. The one I care about most, I had Todd Gurley and Cam Newton. Cam Newton got me 10 points. I actually found out it was his worst game since 2016.
Yeah. I believe it.
So that's great. And then also it was Todd Gurley's worst game since 2016. So that's my luck there. First round of the playoffs. And then I played against George Kittle, who literally he was 5 yards away from beating the NFL record for most yards by a tight end. So that's cool. Glad I have that in my life. But anyways, I'm winning. He's got 1 person left, and he can't score more than 17 points. I found out of all the games, out of 14 weeks, he would beat me in only 5 of those weeks. So the odds are actually in my favor. Okay. And they play the Vikings. So the Vikings actually are a pretty tough defense. What do you think about... You're not really a Bears fan, but...
No, but I'm extremely excited for them. I truly am. Like, I was talking to my fraternity brother, Joe, on Twitter earlier, and he had... I think I had retweeted the Saints, like, partying because they won the NFC South in the locker room, and he was like, they need to stop. I love the Saints, but they need to stop copying off of Club Dub, which, for those that don't know, or those that aren't into NFL right now, when the Chicago Bears win, they have Club Dub in the locker room, and like they turn out the lights and like they dance, and like it's a whole celebration. So my retort to Joe was like, all right, I understand what you're saying, but if everybody in the league and college football didn't steal we got a defensive sack or something, we're gonna run to the opposite end and pose for a picture,
yeah,
then I would feel a little more empathy and sympathy for you. But
that's true.
Everybody's been taking the same swag. But yeah, I appreciate the Chicago Bears. They are probably my honestly, they're probably my second team that I do root for. Both the Saints and the Bears are in the NFC. That's the only upsetting, thing. But they honestly, it's them, and I do root for the Texans as well sometimes. So I will say that the Saints have my heart forever, but seeing what the Bears have been able to do, I always like it when teams like this do this on a year that it seems like they're not necessarily
that crazy
supposed to.
Yeah.
Like, you remember when the Seahawks got to the Super Bowl, like when we were young, and they had like Sean Alexander as running back, and the dude with the weird last name as quarterback. I forget what it was, but it was just like, what?
The bald white dude?
Maybe. But everybody was like,
Helsinki?
No, it wasn't Helsinki.
Wasn't he a quarterback for?
I think he was. But it was just a weird year. Like, everyone was like, oh, the Seattle. And this is before the Seattle Seahawks were cool, by the way.
All right.
They were still wearing like the bad jerseys and stuff. So I like what the Bears are doing. Obviously, I hope they keep winning. I hope it stops though.
Sherrick
when it comes to the
McManus
Saints.
coming through strong. Dude, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Autograph right up there.
Sherrick McManus, for those that don't know, or I think we've talked about it on the podcast before, but those who might have forgotten, Sherrick McManus is a player on the Chicago Bears, number 27, I believe. Vote right now to make sure he gets to the Pro Bowl. I guess there's an outside chance that he can make it. So vote right now. Sherrick McManus, Chicago Bears, number 27. We'd like to see a Peoria, Illinois guy.
Do you remember when he used to wear that
go.
Patriots jersey?
Yeah, I do.
I don't know why that's engraved in my mind.
Yeah.
Also, I still think it's tight how I got him to sign my jersey.
He played at our high school.
Because I literally was like, Rich Woods, and he turned around. I thought that was tight.
That's dope. Sherrick's always been a good guy. My dad knows his dad. They used to work together, and my dad was like, yeah, I mean, Sherrick's and his whole family's been really cool. Sherrick is a family man. We want the best for him. So I always cheer for the Bears a little bit extra for him as well. So
also, do you think Saquon Barkley is the best running back in the league right now? Because That dude's a freak.
You know, I honestly do. Chizzy, my boy, is trying to trade me right now.
Pause by the trade.
Yeah, he's trying to give me
No,
Kamara.
don't, because remember, this is a keeper league.
It's a keeper. League. That's what I'm gonna tell him too.
Yeah.
Like I would for Kamara,
Barkley.
but I want to keep Barkley and maybe get Kamara some other way.
No, he's trying to trade Kamara because he's disappointed with him.
Well, he's trying to trade Kamara also because he splits time.
Yeah.
So I mean,
yeah, you're smart. You know, traded for Barkley.
I've gotten 3 offers for Barkley.
Barkley's a B. I thought that trade wasn't that great, and then I was like, compared to what Fournette did, bro, you did your thing.
I knew.
You did your thing.
And I only know that because Fournette at LSU, when he's hurt early, he stays hurt throughout the year. When he starts healthy, if he gets hurt like in the middle, he'll power through. He's a G. But if he gets hurt early, then everyone around him freaks out because they look at Eddie George and Jerome Bettis and people who have bigger thighs and bigger bodies when they have leg injuries.
Yo, speaking of thighs,
they could mess up.
Barkley does have the biggest thighs
Bro,
in the freaking
his thigh
world.
game is different. Pause.
He
has a different thigh game.
He's just built different, dude.
He's built different. No, I love Saquon. I'm keeping him because it's a keeper league. But it'd be good to get Kamara some other way. So yeah, that's dope.
Yeah,
I'm happy for the Bears though. Ultimately,
I'm actually excited that I'm in this league now because it's a keeper league, and I feel like it was actually super competitive. Just some people just had super bad luck. There's a lot of injuries this year.
Yeah, I had the last pick in the draft, and I'm just trying to get to 500 somehow, some way. That won't happen now because I just lost. But I lost. I think I had an outside chance of maybe making it 500, and not being in the playoffs, but. Of course, I put Derrick Henry on my bench.
Oh my gosh,
and
he
almost scored 50 points.
Like I said, though, no one would have ever guessed.
Yeah,
no one would have ever guessed.
What's crazy is I've been starting him some weeks too. Like that's the crazy thing, and he'll get me like 9-10 points on a good, 13, something crazy. But
so crazy. Not 42.
Wasn't expecting him to just grow up in front of our eyes. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah,
so,
that's weird.
Shouts to Derrick Henry.
Anyways, so I mean that's pretty much what's been going on with me.
My good, bad. So bad is my dog got over our gate finally, and he can jump. We knew he could jump high, but we didn't necessarily realize that he would figure it out. We've been trying to like keep him away from the gate when we like open the door and take him out. So he finally jumped over the gate. It was hilarious because. My mom telling me this story was the funny part. And basically she was standing outside waiting for him to go to the bathroom. And she could hear his collar has a little like clink to it.
Oh, so she can hear him.
So she heard it and she turned around. She was like, that sounds like it's coming from down the street. And so she like yells, calls for me. I jump in the truck. We find him like the next block, and I open the door and he like runs and jumps in the truck. So that's good because we just got him and it shows that he knows me, and he knows like, hey, I'm kind of out of sorts here. So, but that was my bad. A little bit of a scare. Our brand new dog almost got lost, and that would have been
rough.
Yeah. Good. So this weekend I had the pleasure of seeing a movie called Green Book. I don't know if you've heard of it or seen a trailer for it.
No.
So Green Book has Viggo Mortensen, I think is how he pronounces his name, and Mahershala Ali. Mahershala Ali is one of my favorite actors just from the work he did in House of Cards. Mahershala Ali also used to be a rapper back in the day, so the fact that he's a great actor now is crazy. Anywho, it's a story of a pianist, a black pianist who,
What?
Pianist. You've never heard that term? It means you play the piano.
Yeah, the way you say it.
Pianist. How are you supposed to say it? Is it because I said black pianist? Is it pianist? Or am I supposed to say pianist?
There you go.
Black pianist. Black pianist. Listen, I've never heard it said pianist. I've only heard pianist.
Oh my gosh.
Listen, It's the story of a black pianist, and it's 1962. He's hiring an Italian like wise guy to watch his back because he has a musician. He has a tour that he's playing the piano in the South in 1962, and he needs help. He needs someone to watch his back. The dude who he hires is like slightly racist adjacent. So like it's like that coming together. And I hate race movies, by the way, because after Remember the Titans, I feel like you can't really like do much. Like I feel like it's hard to have like a good. Oh, I guess. What was the one with Sandra Bullock?
You're talking about Zootopia.
I don't know if she was in
Blindside. That ain't a
it's
race
Blindside.
movie.
Well, yeah, it's a race movie in the sense of like you have this black kid moving in with a white family. So,
Which is interesting because I've seen a lot. There's actually like a lot of like black families and people like that who actually are very against that, which I didn't know that because I think it's what you can't raise them in what you can't prepare them for what they're going to experience.
Right.
In a sense.
There's
is
a
that
certain
what it is?
there's a certain level of the way that you're raising him, albeit might be 100% great intentions. There's always going to be a part of life that you won't be able to teach him,
right?
Type of thing. So I don't like race movies just because Remember the Titans I think is the best movie that dealt with race of all time. And after that, I was just kind of like, I don't know if I need to see anything else. Green Book, though, however, it has a great spin on it. I think it's amazing. It's about humanity. Green Book was just amazing. It's one of my favorite movies of 2018 by far. Green Book really just blew me away. So
Freedom Riders was pretty
great
good.
movie.
At,
Freedom Riders was good.
Cultural differences and stuff.
So that's my good, bad. The fact that my dog jumped over the fence, almost got lost, and the fact that I saw a Green Book about a pianist.
Dear Lord. Okay. So what I was going to tell you earlier is I saw on Twitter, I just couldn't believe this, that there's people out here that think this way. You guys ready for this hot take? So I saw this retweet, and the comment on the retweet said, oh, they want the smoke, and then they said smoke again in all caps. And I was like, that's a lot of smoke. What does this person want smoke about? Mm-hmm. She said, Bryson Tiller's Trap Soul is better than any project Usher has ever made.
Interesting.
What?
Interesting. The first thing I would ask is how old this girl is.
You want to find out? Here.
Just curious. Because I saw a hot take today. Rory from the Joe Budden podcast, he said that 8701 by Usher is better than Confessions. Now, I am inclined to,
I could kind of see that argument because there are some classics.
And people don't realize that there are classics that came from that particular album.
Right.
Like when you look,
You Got
break
It Bad
down,
is one of my favorite songs of all time.
You Got It Bad. You don't have to call. You Remind Me. A lot of yous. But
a lot of yous. Even you and Usher.
There is some absolute bangers on that 8701 album. So I totally get that. And don't get me wrong, I like Bryson Tiller.
What do you think? I would say she's 30, low 30s, high 20s.
She's wearing a lot of makeup.
Let me see if
high 20s probably.
That can't help you. That doesn't help.
No.
Does that help?
High 20s.
No. Okay.
High 20s. High 20s.
She's the hip hop queen, though.
Oh, okay.
Wisdom Body Blaze?
Blasian?
I don't know.
No. I definitely think that Tiller is cool, and I think he's good, and I think that this next album I liked Canceled a lot. I think that this next album that he puts out is going to be a rebound from the last album, and he's going to get back to the trap soul the trap soul sound, and I'm looking forward to it.
Do you still listen to that single by him?
Canceled, yeah. And you're not tell me when to me.
Yeah, that's a good song.
I listened to it a couple weeks ago. And so I'm I'm of the belief that Tiller's good, but Usher is different, and Confessions is an amazing album, and she's wild.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And while Dobie brings that up, we can go ahead and talk about it. Jacquees, an artist that we have talked about, he dropped his debut album. He's had a bunch of mixtapes and stuff, but he dropped his debut album this year. We talked about it. He came out today, and he said that he's the king of R&B. That kicker looks wild.
He's
Hunter,
big.
He looks wild. But he came out today and said that he's the king of R&B. Twitter has been the funniest it's been in weeks to me. Like the funny political stuff, like the funny Trump stuff isn't funny to me anymore because I'm just kind of like, nah.
Political humor is honestly, political humor is my least favorite type of humor.
Yeah, I'm not into it. I still pop over like the Joe Biden and Obama stuff just because it makes me laugh. Like when he's about to get out of the car, like to me, there's just something about that. But it's not political.
Right.
It's just because they're old people. But
I did find it very sweet how Bush had a piece of candy for Michelle Obama, even in the midst of his dad's funeral. I just felt like that was like a little glimpse. I feel like that was like a moment he was really looking forward to in that hard moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that was dope. I think that is the picture of what everyone's supposed to look like that thinks differently.
Yeah.
But, no, but on Twitter today has been the funniest I've seen it in weeks, talking about the king of R&B. Kaz, who I follow, who is a part of the Flagrant 2 podcast and a WWE writer that I love.
I follow him now. He actually does have a lot of good tweets. I like
some
him
of
a
his
lot.
hot takes are hilarious.
Yeah, I like him
though.
a lot.
He has one that's like Black Panther didn't really slap like that. It was just Lion King. He has like some really, really funny ones, bro.
Was.
I know, right? I hate that he like is so dead on.
But Black Panther does slap.
It does slap. It slapped incredibly hard. I'm hurting from the slap. But he today said, I know that he's supposed to be canceled right now. We're supposed to not pay attention to him, and he's a disgusting human. But are we still not going to talk about R. Kelly being the king of R&B today? And I was like, ooh, because if you
He's
look
ruined it.
Yeah, I know.
But at the same time, it's like Bill Cosby. How you still watch the Bill Cosby show? And
Cosby Show slaps. It's
Cosby
amazing.
Show's great.
It's an amazing show. So King of R&B, real quick. Let's
to be
talk
fair,
about
is
it.
also Bill Cosby. Is that the one? And I never really noticed that. How do you feel like because I've seen it said before how Bill Cosby didn't portray black culture as well as it should have. Like it was almost made for like white people.
I think that he went out to design a show that showed that all black people weren't the same.
Right, because I feel like you grew up in more of that kind of household.
I did. I mean, I did, and at the same time, like to me, because of who I am, I think that they're super black. I think that they have an extremely black household. But I know what you mean.
Yeah.
To a lot of people, that's not the black that they saw, type of thing. I think where Cosby was wrong was there's episodes where he shades Theo because Theo loves rap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, I think that young people that were a little older than me at the time, obviously, because I saw the reruns, but young people that were watching it at that time that were into rap were like, Bill doesn't really mess with us. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that created this divide between Bill Cosby and black youth.
Right.
That instead of embracing them, he was just kind of like, no, that's not what's really good. You need to listen to Sam Cooke and Otis Redding and Marvin Gaye. You don't need to like be into all the hip hop stuff. And he would make fun of it. So I think that started the divide between Bill Cosby.
That makes sense.
But King of R&B, you have the R. Kellys out there. You have the Ushers out there. You have the Trey Songz out there.
King of R&B.
Couldn't
you say Marvin Gaye?
I mean, you could. It's like, what do you want to do?
What
like,
decade?
Yeah, it's such a hard thing that I think it's funny that people are trying to debate it right now because it's just so hard. Like, what are the parameters?
I think it is Usher.
I mean, the King. I mean, and then there's Chris Brown who.
He's not R&B to me anymore.
See, that's what I was
the
just
issue.
getting ready to say. A lot of people on Twitter were like, Chris Brown, and then some people reacted against that, or like he hasn't made like a R&B album since maybe his first one, like, and even that was like a pop record,
Right.
So I don't know. Do you take Chris Brown out of it? Like, it's just a weird.
He's pop now. He
King
does
of
way
R&B
too
is
much
harder to me to determine than King of hip hop, because to me R&B, if you want to talk about King of R&B, shoot, that could be Drake.
Yeah.
Keeping it funky. Side B was better than a lot of R&B albums I heard this year.
Side B slaps.
Yeah. And I mean that though. It's seriously better than a lot of like pure R&B albums that I heard this year.
Besides Final Fantasy, I feel like that didn't belong on that side B.
And then you have artists like Odie with his album Analog, where it is.
He's going to get no recognition besides like a few bloggers and us.
Yeah, I think it.
Like the fact Choker got more, I get it. I like Choker's album, but the fact like Odie's getting overlooked compared to Choker is just so disappointing.
It's weird. It's
and
weird.
Like, what is it? Blood Justice?
Blood Orange. Blood Orange.
Blood Orange.
And
Justice
I like Blood
name.
Orange, but there's also Cautious Clay and like people, that Blood Type album he put out earlier this year that me and you liked. So, I mean, R&B is out there. There's some people that think like you have to listen like Genuine and Tank and Tyrese, and that's real R&B. I don't know what real R&B is anymore.
I will say Tank's I Can't Make
Tank
You
slaps.
Love Me.
Oh, great
Yo,
rendition of that song.
Oh my gosh.
There's so many versions of that song out there, but that version,
That one is the best.
that I'm so happy you just said that. Me and my sister argue about that because she likes versions by other people. I'm like, no. Tank's version. She likes
sure.
Adele's version. I'm like, yeah, it's cool, but Tank's version,
I felt Tank.
man, Tank's different. But at the same time,
By the way, that song
That's
is
R&B.
beautifully written.
oh, amazing song,
Beautifully written.
amazing song. What a song. But yeah, King of R&B. I don't know if I had a gun to my head right now.
Because it's not Usher anymore. That's the thing too. Are we thinking like modern day? Because like then I'm
If
like,
we're talking about right now, with the album he put out, I have to say it is a
Khalid.
toss up between.
what about Khalid?
But see, there's people who put him in pop because he's nominated for all the pop stuff.
I think he's a
and
prince. He's the prince of R&B.
He,
I feel like he's more R&B than pop.
I think it's between Miguel.
Oh no! Ooh.
Miguel stays
oh my
true
gosh!
to the
Leisure
sound.
Suit. Oh man, I forgot. No, you're right, Miguel.
I think Miguel. I think
Yeah.
Miguel,
Yeah.
and he doesn't get the recognition. We're not
Yeah.
talking about album sales.
I listened to that Skywalker song again. I was like,
Yo,
holy
Skywalker
crap.
slaps.
Skywalker is so
Slaps.
good.
And the album before that, that song Leaves,
Yeah.
Adorn.
What is that? Candles or whatever?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Bro, I still think Adorn doesn't have any competition as the best R&B song in the last 10 years other than maybe Boot Up. But Adorn, as far as catchiness,
10 years?
bro, Adorn is probably, this is my hot take, Adorn is probably the best R&B song in the last 10 years. Listen to that song. You can fall in love with a doorknob. It is like,
Dang, son.
though, Adorn is different. So good to me. So good.
Wow, 10 years.
I'm
Dude,
gonna
that's
say
a lot
decade.
of music.
Give me a decade. Give me a decade. I'm telling you. And that encompasses the Confessions 2008, 2007, 2008.
See, I put Climax up there.
Climax is amazing. I love Climax.
I remember at school, literally, I just had Climax on repeat going to class. I thought that song was like one of the best songs ever.
Climax is fire too.
Diplo killed that beat.
I'm going with Miguel, King of R&B. Who are you going with? It's rough. That's
I still
one.
think Usher, but I feel like his time is done. But a king lasts for even longer. You know, if we're gonna say king, then a king lasts until he's dead or he's given up his position to somebody else. Usher just released a project.
Okay,
I
Jon
didn't think
Snow.
it was that.
I see you. I hear you.
I didn't think it was that great. I think it was enough to just keep him talked about. I didn't feel like it was enough to keep his legacy. Like
People sleeped on No Limit though. That record was hard. And I
that
think
birthday
people
song's
kinda-
great.
Yeah.
I listened back to that the other day and I was like, he should have marketed this song.
Yeah.
Like he was silly for not pushing this song because that is actually a really good like birthday track. So yeah, so I'll still go with Usher right now.
Okay. That's it. That's it from us. King of R&B discussion right now on Twitter. Tomorrow, when the phrase calm down a little bit, you're going to listen to this and go, yeah, Miguel and Usher. And you're going to agree with us. Why? Because we know what we're talking about. King of R&B discussion. It's hard. It's hard to really narrow down, I think. But while we're talking about new music, or while we're talking about music, we're going to get into new music. There was a little scarcity, some unknown stuff, but we're going to break down what we can. Then we're going to talk about the Grammys. So starting with Gucci Mane, Evil Genius. This is like his millionth album in the last 18 months, I feel like. Did you have a chance to listen to this one? Or skim or...
Yeah, it's all right.
long.
You know, it felt very long.
It was 18
I feel like he
records.
needs to change his name to Gucci Mane Ripped.
Bro, he's
looking good. Gucci Mane Ripped.
Yeah.
I feel like he should have just came out with like a 10 song project. Filler. There's just a lot of filler. But Gucci Mane's, let's be honest, like when's the last time you've listened to like a very like I just spilled drink on myself. That's great. Gucci Mane has long projects. Like he always has, mainly because he creates so many songs.
Yeah.
And I guess for the streaming era, it makes sense, but I don't know.
Yeah, and I'll say that this was a Gucci Mane project. It's hard for me to break down his albums anymore because they're just so... I know exactly what I'm getting. We heard Solitaire before. I will say that I am surprised that Wake Up in the Sky with Bruno and Kodak is doing what it's doing. It's more popular than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
That's
And
what I
it's
mean
taken
by
a
that.
little while.
Someone in the office today at work had the radio on,
I'm telling you,
the
dude.
energy station, and it came on during the day. And that's not like a record that I would think gets rotation, and I don't listen to the radio, so this could be...
It's been on
this
the
could have
radio
happened.
lately.
Yeah, see, I don't...
Well,
it's just weird. I didn't think
think-
this record would do it.
Bruno's
Yeah.
big. It's Bruno.
Yeah.
But I think TikTok making the ZZ, or isn't it? It's not ZZ.
It's called ZZ, yeah.
Oh, it is ZZ. Making ZZ like a meme on TikTok made that song popular. And because of, and I know it's made it popular because there have been other memes of songs, and I look to see the YouTube audio count of those songs, and they're in the millions. Of like one that's like about Overwatch, it's in the millions because it was a meme on TikTok. So that's why I do think it's going to become. It's not Vine. I'm not saying that, but as in a platform with meme short clip material with songs, dancing, all random stuff, all the above. TikTok is going to be the next platform for that because we forget quickly how Vine made songs popular because everybody was playing them and streaming them to do the video.
I loved Vine. Vine helped me find so many songs. And I think that a lot of Kodak has like this buzz right now. And like you're saying, partly to the ZZ and the dance and everything that's done. But he does have a lot of buzz right now. It's weird. But him being on this, the Bruno stimulus package, and then Gucci being Gucci, that song's just crept up and been really successful for Gucci. I don't even think Gucci necessarily... Maybe he knew because that Bruno feature was probably expensive. But yeah, crazy. But yeah, overall, decent album. It's a Gucci album. I love Gucci. This is kind of what it is to me. So those are my thoughts on that.
Put up in a demon on God.
On God.
Here's Kendrick Lamar. Put up in a demon on God.
Put up in the demon on God. Did you listen to the Skins album?
I went back and forth on if I wanted to listen to it or not. And then I started skimming it. And I feel like albums that are put together by somebody else other than the artist never do great for me.
They're weird.
They're always weird. Kanye West feature is weird.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. I felt like nothing felt like genuine. And I'm gonna say no more about it because I feel like it's still sensitive.
Speaking on the dead, yeah.
And you always listen to the project, like even the very beginning, and I could be wrong, but I'm just like, I feel like he wouldn't have started the album like this. Like I feel like, and I listened to this the next song, and I was like, just this doesn't sound like where he was going anymore. And
that's a really good point that I don't think people talk about, actually, that you made about how you might have an artist that passes away, and then people put the album together, and they're doing it with the best intentions in the world, but they're never going to be like they are, like the artist that they're trying to put the music out for. It's never going to be what they wanted 100%, and that can come through in the music, and I think it did here. Really short album, obviously snippets that weren't done, that they just pieced together, and sloppy's probably a weird word to use, but it's just not, it just doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel together. But so that was XXXTENTACION Skins.
What did you think of the Kanye West feature?
I thought it was weird. I didn't like it. I kind of have been tuning him out though, and I think at this point he is trying to grab as much attention as possible. I don't know what the end goal is for him, but if there's a controversial person, if there's a person that seems misunderstood, he's gravitating towards him. If I want to psychoanalyze him and get some money's worth out of that psych minor I got, I think it's because I don't use it, so I might as well. I think it's because he feels misunderstood. People think he's culture vulturing and just like going towards the hot thing. While he is doing that, I feel like it's because he feels like people misunderstand him, so he's gravitated towards people who are misunderstood. So I think he's doing that a lot in life in general. So it's weird. I don't like it. I love Kanye and always will, but I don't like Kanye right now. So I don't know.
Sense.
It's kind of where I am with it. We have, what else did you listen to? I don't want to.
To be fair, I honestly didn't listen to a whole lot. I listened to A.CHAL.
Right.
And I listened to him. I don't remember if it was last year. I think it was. He had a song that I really thought was dope, and I was like, oh, I'm going to be paying attention to this guy. He is a Latin artist, and I think now his popularity is more on the Latino side, and so because of that, he has a lot more of songs that he's speaking in his own language. So for me, there's more of a disconnect from it, because like that Bad Bunny song is great, don't get me wrong, but like I don't go back and listen to it all the time because I can't connect with it because I don't quite understand it. Now that's just me. So for me, I feel like I can tell it's good and it's decent, and I recommend people listening to it, but because he's speaking his native tongue more, so I can't connect with it as much.
Understandable. I did not listen to that. It's something I do plan on listening to though, just to give it a whirl.
It's the laid back like R&B drug kind of feel, where you feel like everything's slow.
I listen to Ice Cube. Everything's corrupt. The only thing I'll say about Ice Cube is I really enjoy his. I really enjoy his movies. I really enjoy his old music. I'm not here for his new music. It's all of his albums are extremely political, but I will say that I love Ice Cube. It's just it's hard for me to get through his albums. He's somebody that hasn't necessarily aged the best musically, and that's me saying that as a fan of his old stuff. So that's Ice Cube. Everything's corrupt. Benny Blanco, Friends Keep Secrets.
Yeah.
Now I love this. Benny Blanco writes, he produces. I first heard of him because he was doing stuff with Ed Sheeran, and then he put out a song called East Side with Halsey and with Khalid. That song turned out to be one of my favorite songs of 2018. That song is on this album along with 6 other songs. This is so solid to me and bare and just cool to me. Roses with Juice WRLD and Benny Blanco. Brendan Urie is a great song.
I don't like Juice WRLD. I'm saying
I know you don't. I know you don't.
Nope.
I know you
I'm
don't.
tired of trying.
I like Juice WRLD.
It will maybe
sometimes.
change.
It's not all the time. Sometimes
21
I'm
Savage
like, no,
changed
but
for me, but
yeah, that's
as
true.
of right now, Juice WRLD just does not do it for me.
And then they had More/Diamond Ring with Ty Dolla $ign and Black, which is an R&B record. It's so crazy good. Black flips a white T-verse. Ty is Ty and is great. Better to Lie with Sway Lee and Jesse is great. Calvin Harris gets on for I Found You. I think it's just a really solid tape. Like, it's a really solid album or EP. I'm not really sure what he's calling it. But if you like popular music, I think it's one of those that you could put on. You know, I was thinking the whole time, I was like, man, the lack of like the feeling that I want to listen, that I want to hear every time I listen to a Snake Hips project, I felt during this. You can throw this on and people will be like, oh, this is a cool playlist, and be like, no, this is one album. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
same people are behind it. I have that feeling when I listen to this.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So I liked it personally. Benny Blanco, Friends Keep Secrets.
I listened to that Chance Tanashi song again, dude.
So good.
God.
That song is.
That song is I don't know why I didn't put because that song didn't come out. That song came out before we did our podcast. But man,
Yeah, that song's old, but it's.
that song is so
I hit
good.
the mall.
It's so the chorus, the verses. I don't understand how it wasn't a #1 hit.
I don't know.
It's even the music video is decent.
Say you take the wheel just to fall asleep at it. So
All
good.
my friends are wasted.
So good. I love that song. Shout out to Snake Hips. Shout out to Tinashe. Shout out to Chance the Rapper. Very good stuff. Tone Smith.
Chance, just put out a project, bro.
I think he will. He's just not in a rush. And so I'm seeing something the same way that I think Floyd Mayweather is taking random fights because he doesn't have any money.
Because he spends it all.
I agree. I think that Chance the Rapper isn't putting out anything because he's scared of a slump.
Yeah, and to be fair, don't
And
ball
nobody's
out.
saying it.
Don't ball in, but I will say Chance is not like a baller like that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't buy a $10 million watch and then take fights like that because you say you ain't got no money.
Right. I totally agree.
Like,
totally
that's
agree.
the dumbest investment I've. A $10 million watch.
Listen,
Man, get
no one
your-
is saying this. I'm gonna say it. I think Chance is afraid of the next album. He keeps putting out these 2 songs.
Ooh.
He keeps putting out these 2 songs here and there. And when he's independent. I'm not saying he's a record company, but when record companies do that, why are they doing that? To check the temperature. They're trying to see what records people are responding to so that they can morph an album around it. That album's not done. That album's not even close to being done.
Yeah.
The Chance album's not done. And he's been grasping at straws trying to figure out which way to go. I'm not saying that in a way like he can't make a great album. I think
But
he
didn't
can.
he say on the Joe podcast he's got fired?
And he probably does. But it's fire he's unsure of because he would drop it. He's hype. He is the type of person to be like, you know what? I love you guys so much. I give you stuff for free. Boom. Album's coming out at 4 p.m. on a Tuesday. I don't care. And it would do numbers. But the fact that he's not dropping heat tells me he's unsure. And it's fine. It's okay. But this is when, if you weren't independent and you did have a record label, they would just put your crap out and be like, no, we got to move.
That makes
It's
sense.
fourth quarter.
Yeah.
I think he hasn't dropped because Coloring Book is going to be looked at as a moment in time. You won a Grammy, you're independent adjacent, you got on the Grammys talking about God, you talk about hip hop in a way in which no one else does. It's a big accomplishment, and people are expecting you to either be better or totally slump.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Shout out to Chance the Rapper though. Don't want to make it sound like I don't like him because I love him, but that's what I think. Let's see what else. Domo Genesis dropped a song, I think, but Tone Smith dropped Good Company EP. Now, I listened to this, and I listened to this because it popped up and the album art was interesting, and I didn't know if he was R&B and hip hop, but when I clicked on it, I was like, oh, of course, you're just sitting on a square, on a cube, just looking off. I do that too when I'm sad. This is an R&B
Don't we
album.
all?
So he has a song with Sway Lee and Quavo called Good Company, and it's fire. I don't know how I didn't know about this song before now. I don't think I've heard of Tone Smith. Sometimes things come on playlists that I just hear, and I'm like, oh, that's dope, but I don't think I've ever heard this. I thought it was fire. The last song on the project, Doing It For Me, is good too. This guy has a future. Tone Smith, Good Company. I liked it. I liked it.
I gotta check that out.
No, you do. It's interesting. It's really interesting project. I think album-wise, that's probably it. We can go to the Loosie Goosies. Once again, for those that don't know, for those who haven't listened to podcasts, Loosie Goosies are what we call the singles that are released. We have Flip De Niro, Feeling Like. I will say that his first single, the Leave Me Alone, Growing on Me. Growing on Me, Growing on Me.
That song is also very popular on TikTok.
Yeah, I can see that because I can see that platform being able to use a short little for an expression type thing. Yeah. Kyle dropped a song called Hey Julie featuring Lil Yachty. Did you hear this?
Yeah.
How do you feel?
I think it was two friends just having fun.
Okay. That sounds like a TV show or a podcast.
Did you not see the Kyle clip? You remember that? Did you not see that on Instagram? How they were actually, oh my goodness, they were actually in the studio, and
yeah,
he was like, no, singing like this, Hey Julie, which I always love those kind of clips. But
I think that it is the type of record that they're both kind of becoming known for. Mm-hmm. My only problem is I don't want people to typecast them. I want people to know that they can still make really good records. Like more
I think Kyle
serious.
brings out a really good side of Yachty though.
Yeah, I like Kyle a lot, and I love Little Yachty's thing. I don't love Eli's music at all, but I love his
thing
gimmick. It's pretty cool. Kodak Black, Testimony. A lot of people like this song. I thought it was all right, I guess, for Kodak. He kind of just does all right.
I can't do it.
Marshmellow featuring Roddy Ricch, Project Jeans. I love this record.
Marshmellow's good, man.
Dude, I really like this song a lot. It's definitely a banger to me.
Banger.
What is going on with Blueface? Have you seen or heard
his
of this?
freestyles are so, like, he says, I guess, decent stuff, but like it's just like, I don't get it.
If you thought G Herbo didn't rap on beat,
yeah,
this guy is terrified of the beat. He must have got beatings as a kid, and therefore, anytime something is beating, he's just staying away from that.
He didn't grow up with a pianist.
No, he didn't grow up with a pianist. Blueface Studio. I tried listening to this after all the Twitter uproar, and I was like, yo, I can't. And I can listen to G Herbo sometimes, but no.
It's like, because I don't get it. It's so funny how the people who start blowing up, because I'm like, what about that J dude? Like, he's actually like talented. Like, let's let him blow up. Because I mean, they kind of rap about the same stuff and whatnot. Like,
I agree. Cautious Clay, we were just talking about him. Reasons, he dropped the song. Not my favorite stuff from him. I like more of an R&B sound. This was more of a poppy radio hit, but I liked it. It was okay, but it just wasn't necessarily for me. Let's see. Chief Keef, OK Kool-Aid, worst song of 2018, possibly. Shout out to Keef, though. Don't kill me.
Did you listen to that? Oh my gosh, the guy who did OG Genesis.
OT Genesis.
OT Genesis,
Yep.
Bay.
Yeah. I don't know. He might have missed his
good
run
for
in
him, though, for
2018.
sticking around, because everybody thought he
does.
was going to be a one-hit wonder.
Every year, he comes with, a little something.
No.
A little something. They try to do it like every
Not
year.
Lock it again. Oh, gosh. Dude, this is making me nervous. He's got 3.7 points.
How many can he have? None?
He needs 14 more points.
Okay.
And I lose.
Guys, we're going to transition to a quick conversation about the Grammy nominations. Grammy nominations just came out this week. Really, really interesting stuff here. Like I said at the beginning of the show, I think that it's the best that they've done in a while, as far as including a lot of the albums that need to be included. So do we want to pick on certain genres, you think?
No, I say just go through the list, the general field, just go straight through it. That's how.
So record of the year, Record of the year, and these are the individual songs, by the way, when we say record of the year. Cardi B, I Like It. Brandi Carlile, The Joke. Childish Gambino, This Is America. Drake, God's Plan. Lady Gaga, Bradley Cooper, Shallow. Kendrick and SZA, All the Stars. Post Malone, 21 Savage, Rockstar. Zedd and Maren Morrison and Gray, The Middle.
That made me happy
Yeah.
to see In the Middle. Because like I said, I was like, this song is actually like very, very, very good.
I personally
I think Rockstar should be out.
Yep.
All the Stars actually should stay in when I really think about it.
Yep.
Shallow, I don't know enough about. I heard
It's a good record.
God's Plan. I understand why it's there because it was a movement. However, if we're gonna go like record of the year, I feel like it needs to be a little bit more. Personally, if I was going to break it down, I would actually give it to This Is America, only because the fact that the message behind it was done in such a crazy way where it literally did the exact same thing he was saying his message was doing. I'm just going to present material for you in a way that you feel like you really like it. In this trap beat, I'm going to say a bunch of dumb stuff while you're ignoring major issues, and this is going to be super popular.
So I agree. I agree that This Is America is a better song than people are giving it credit for. I understand the video is what makes it though. But one thing that we have to remember with record of the year, and I'm only making the distinction for the audience because a lot of people don't know, and I wouldn't know if I didn't read the descriptions. Record of the year has to do with the mixing, mastering, engineering of the overall record.
Then that would have to go with
And
the
then
middle.
and then song of the year is like the song itself
Then
and
that's
lyrics and everything.
the middle.
I think the middle. I honestly think
If you're really going to break if that's the case, the middle.
The only reason, and this is gonna sound crazy, the only reason I think Cardi B could win is because that sample is iconic.
That's true.
And I kind of don't know why no one's ever tried to mix that sample before. And the fact that her people were able to do it, I can see a world in which Cardi B would win for I Like It.
Yeah.
I think God's Plan's cool, but Boy Wonder just kind of did his normal thing. Shallow is a song that is acoustic. And so while there's mixing and mastering that has to be done, the version that is nominated is the version that is the live version, I believe. So it's mostly acoustic. This Is America, I think it's actually mixed great. And I think that the beat on that is crazy. That This Is America beat's crazy. I've only heard The Joke by Brandi Carlile once. I listened to it to talk about this because I was curious. All the Stars sounds great. I think the middle, Zedd, that song you couldn't run away from when it was out. Like it was everywhere. So
Well, just from a mixing standpoint of I think that there's a lot of aspects to that song that were just done very well. But there's a lot of people behind that record.
Yep.
If you look at I forget who did it, but there is a little mini documentary on that song, and there's actually a lot of people behind that song.
I believe it.
So yeah.
Album of the year. This one's a little spicy. Little interesting.
That's
First
so
of all,
hard. Let's be honest. This is a very hard. This year's hard for the Grammys, period.
It is. And that's why I say I think they did a good job. Whenever
Yeah.
it's hard, I think they did a good job. First of all, shout out to black people. I remember when growing up watching the Grammys, I felt like a black artist was like the token, like let's throw this one in here for some diversity.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're really getting represented a lot. So I think it's dope. Invasion of Privacy, Cardi B. I can totally understand. Brandi Carlile, By the Way, I Forgive You. I skimmed this. It's not for me.
What is it?
It's more of a folky thing to me, but it's not for me. Drake, Scorpion, I understand why it's there. Her, I understand why it's there.
That was actually the biggest shock to me.
The only reason I understand why it's there is because for the album of the year, they always try to pick like an outside.
But Daniel
Like a
Caesar's
weird-
didn't make it last year, and Daniel Caesar,
And it should have, I thought.
he made
I thought
one of
40
the
and-
best projects last year.
I thought Freudian was crazy. But as much as he's been nominated,
Which is weird how he has a song that's
from that. Guys, I don't know when the cutoff is.
I don't get it.
For when stuff can be entered.
Right.
But it's kind of crazy.
That's why I don't like Trainer or whatever. Because she ruined Tori Kelly's.
Oh, I was heated. Beer Bongs and Bentleys, Post Malone. Dirty Computer, Janelle Monáe. Casey Musgraves, Golden Hour. Black Panther, the album. Kendrick Lamar,
that was a
various
big
artists.
shocker, actually, as well.
It was a shocker for me.
Is this the first? No, this is not, because
probably the Bodyguard soundtrack or something like that, maybe, or
no, it's the folky one. Didn't it win?
No, I'm trying to remember.
With George Clooney in it.
Oh,
Brother,
yeah.
We're Out
Yep.
Oh, Brother, We're Out There.
I remember. Yep.
Because that actually original music was really, really good.
Yeah. So, guys, don't be surprised if Casey Musgraves walks out with this one for the Golden Hour. If they're basing this off of like pop acclaim and stuff like that, I think that she could win. I get why Cardi's there. Invasion of Privacy came out of nowhere. If Cardi B wins, though, like, I'll be so happy for her hustle. Like,
that'd be a shock.
I would be shocked. I think she should take the fact that she's nominated for Album of the Year as a huge victory. Mm-hmm. I've said this on the podcast before. She doesn't need to make any more albums. TV show.
I'm gonna put this out here.
Oh no.
Would not be surprised if Drake wins this, only because, just like they said on the Joe Budden podcast, Drake is literally the most like easy person to celebrate Black culture with, because he's
easy. He's safe.
He's safe.
Yep.
So because of the Grammys getting so much backlash from an overall
There's
community,
not enough Black people in it, and so yeah.
Drake winning it is
we can pick him and he won't embarrass us.
Pick.
Yeah.
That is a very, very, very safe pick. Do I think he had one of the best albums of the year? Yes, that's a very, very heavily personal preference. Yeah. Also, I can see why it was put in, because we said that album is very, very diverse. Is it very long? Yes. I do think it's better. Me personally, I think it's better than More Life, which More Life felt more like a cluster than Scorpion did. So that's why I do think that this does have a place. Do I think it's going to win? No, but I'm not going to be surprised if it does win, because then, oh, wow, the hip-hop community is like, look, hip-hop community, we won a Grammy.
One.
The Grammy community is like, we actually have a great face. Like, we can, we're not worried about what he's going to say or what he's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Is that crazy?
No, that's not crazy. I totally get that. Me personally, I don't want him to win just because there's so much back and forth about Drake that I feel like people will try to use it. If he wins for Scorpion, people will try to be like,
oh my gosh, all those Kendrick Lamar fans are going to be like, you're telling me this man didn't win
exactly.
Good Kid, Mad City or Damn, but then Drake wins the Scorpion?
It's one of those things where I think you win when you lose in this situation. It's just one of those things. Dirty Computer with Janelle Monáe. It's one of those weird ones that the Grammys
like
throw in there, and you're like, huh?
I feel like that one could win.
I think it could too. I'm gonna say it's gonna be Golden Hour, Casey Musgraves. I understand why Black Panther's there.
I gotta listen to this. Would I even like it? Casey Musgraves?
There's some like decent songs, but
do I know anything?
It's for girls. It's something I don't listen to. I listen to it just to get a grasp of it, but it's not bad, but I get why it's there, and it'll probably win. I'm gonna say that Casey Musgraves' Golden Hour will probably win. My long shot's Cardi, though. I feel like there is a chance. I can see a world in which Cardi wins for the almost the opposite of what you said to throw people off, though.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, we picked someone that we do not know what she's going to say on that microphone when she gets up there. It could have to be bleeped. It could be crazy, but we're going to be talked about in the morning.
Yeah.
I don't know. Cardi's my outside, but me as a Drake fan, I'd love to see Drake get a album of the year. Be cool. Song of the year. Now this is more so for the songwriters that we were talking about. All the Stars with Kendrick, Boot Up with LMA, God's Plan with Drake, In My Blood with Shawn Mendes, The Joke, and that was the Brandy Carlisle song. The Middle, that was the Zed and Maureen Morris song. Shallow, the Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper song, and This Is America, the Gambino song. This is hard to me because I have a hard time stepping outside of what I listen to.
Right.
For me, Boot Up was everywhere all the time.
Yeah, it was.
You couldn't escape it. It was just ridiculous. Boot Up managed to be our on this podcast song of the summer, even though it was not released in the summer. It carried over in such a way that it was, though. Mm-hmm. I think Boot Up should probably be the song that wins. Boot Up or The Middle should be the song that wins this. I can see a world in which Shawn Mendes wins. That song was big. I can see a world in which Kendrick wins. This is a hard one as well. This Is America. I can see that being the Grammys pick. Is like, yay, we're diverse. We love change. You know, let's go for that. I don't know. I'm gonna go with what my heart wants, and that's Boot Up.
Yeah, I listen.
The Middle,
The
though,
Middle
is so,
or Boot Up. Those are two of actually.
Yeah.
And spoiler alert, those are two songs that are actually in my top 10 songs of the year. And so I would say those two are going to be it. It's so funny because God's Plan was so great, and then if I look at my top 10, it's not even there. It's not even my favorite song off the album
but
anymore.
See, I can see a world in which God's Plan wins because for a moment it was, it did a whole thing.
Huge.
Yeah. Best New Artist. This is an interesting one. Chloe and Halle, those are the girls that are signed to Beyonce. Luke Combs, he's a country artist. Greta Van Fleet, it's rock. Her. Dua Lipa, who is pop dance. Margot Price, who I have no idea anything about. BB Rexha, who's been out since 2016. And Georgia Smith.
I actually would prefer Greta Van Fleet because they're the only new group that has actually done something with the rock genre to make it somewhat popular, which is almost the odds are stacked against them. And I remember listening to that 3-song EP thinking, these guys are actually really good. I don't know if you remember me talking about that.
No, I remember. Yeah, it was season 1.
And so because of that, I think Greta Van Fleet, out of all of these artists, if you're going to talk about best new and how hard it is to actually get recognized in that genre, that's, to be fair, nowhere near what it used to be, I think that's the most impressive.
So Dobie did a spoiler alert about something. So I'll do a spoiler alert about who my best new artist is, and you'll hear about this in a couple weeks. It sounds crazy, and it's gonna sound like I only listen to one thing, and I don't though. Lil Baby. I look at the year he had, and it's hard for me to say it's not Lil Baby or LMA. BB Rex is weird to me because she's literally released an album in 2017.
Yeah.
She's been out since 2016.
Yeah.
She shouldn't even be. She's the Meghan Trainor of this
But she
category.
might win because of that dang country pop song.
Right. That came out in 2017. I don't get it. Now, I see a world in which the journalists look at British songstresses a certain way and Georgia Smith wins. I can see that.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Chloe and Halle. And I think that the album was good, but I think it's the Beyonce connection that's going to do it because they're signed to her. And it'd be a weird thing for them to do. I think it's going to be Chloe and Halle. But I can see Greta
I think it's going to be Luke
Fleet.
Combs, but I want Greta Van Fleet.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. That's an interesting one. I'll be very curious to see what does that. Best pop solo performance: Colors, Beck, Camila Cabello, Havana Live, Ariana Grande, God is a Woman, Lady Gaga, Joanne. Where do you think you're going? Post Malone, Better Now.
In terms of best solo performance, as a performance, you got to think of every aspect of it. I would have to go God is a Woman.
I'm 100% with you. Ariana Grande, it's her time right now. That song symbolizes where we are culturally right now. I mean, it's happening.
Yep.
Best pop duo or group performance: Christina Aguilera featuring Demi Lovato, Fall in Line. Backstreet Boys, Don't Go Breaking My Heart. Yes, 12-year-old Malky was happy about that. Tony Bennett featuring Diane Krall, It's So Wonderful. Lady Gaga, Bradley Cooper, Shallow. Maroon 5 featuring Cardi B, Girls Like You. Justin Timberlake, Chris Stapleton, Say Something. Zed, Maureen Morrison, The Middle. I'm pretty sure The Middle's going to win this one.
I want The Middle to win.
But for me, I want it to be Chris Stapleton and Timberlake. Say Something is the best song on that album that did not do well. I love that song. I love Chris Stapleton, love Justin Timberlake. That's what my heart wants. I think The Middle could end up sweeping this thing. The Middle is going to win this.
It just helped me like solidify my thoughts because I was kind of crazy. I felt like I was a little crazy because it was at work and I heard it on the intercoms and I'm like singing every word and I've never gotten tired of the song and I thought to myself, I actually love this song. Like, I need to recognize this song as one of the best songs of this year.
Fam, I am a 286-pound black man. And I walk around daily going, take a seat right over there. Yeah. Bro, song's dope. It is a dope song.
And like just the rendition,
it's
like
so
right
good.
before this.
It's so good.
And her runs are perfect. Like
it's perfect.
It's such a good song.
Best traditional pop vocal album: Tony Bennett, Willie Nelson, Gregory Porter, Seal, Barbra Streisand. I'm gonna go with Seal. I haven't listened to any of these albums.
I just want Seal because it's Seal.
I like Seal. Best pop vocal album. This is interesting. Camila Cabello, Camilla, Kelly Clarkson, Meaning of Life, Ariana Grande, Sweetener, Shawn Mendes, Pink, Beautiful Trauma, and Taylor Swift, Reputation. The only Taylor Swift nomination of the Grammys. This is an interesting category.
Vocal.
Yep.
Vocal. You can only give this to 3 people on this list. I mean, you could say Pink. I think she's
Pink.
washed up.
You could say Pink. I think she has like really bad. I don't think she writes good.
I can't stand her songs. I never
she
liked
makes
Pink.
good songs anymore.
Kelly Clarkson still has it, but Queen right now is Ariana Grande, and you cannot deny that girl's vocals. I think this is between Shawn Mendes and Ariana Grande. If we're looking at the vocal aspect.
The artist of the year this year for Billboard was Camila Cabello. So that's the only reason that I say that she could walk away with this. Because I'm kind of paying attention to what other award shows are doing.
Either. Yeah, that's actually a great album.
I gotta go. I think it's her time. Sweetener. Ariana Grande. I just think it's her time right now.
I would want Shawn to win something because that album is really good. As a sophomore album, that's a great album. Even though his first album is still better because that album is just like sometimes you strike gold. He struck gold with that album.
I'm gonna skip Best Dance Recording just because I don't think we've heard it.
Right.
We're gonna go to. We're gonna skip rock for the first point. We'll just say best rock performance should be Greta Van Fleet. I heard Arctic Monkeys actually. I heard that album. It's decent. We're gonna skip metal. We're gonna skip Greta Van Fleet for best rock album. We can rock with that too. R&B, best R&B performance. We talked earlier in this podcast about who the king of R&B is. Tony Braxton, Long As I Live. That's a you're a veteran, so we're giving you this. That album was not good. Summer, The Carters.
Don't like that pick.
Interesting, right?
Don't like that pick.
I thought it was just kind of like there's no Beyonce. Let's.
Don't like that pick.
Layla Hathaway, Y.O.Y., Her, Best Part featuring Daniel Caesar, PJ Morton, First Began. If I go with my heart.
There's no comparison who should win that song. It's best.
Best Part, Her, Daniel Caesar. That song will play at my wedding.
That song is way too good to not win anything.
That song's
why
gonna
it's
play at my
nominated now and not last year, I don't know.
I don't know how they do their stuff, man.
I don't either, but yes, that song
should win. That is the best song in that category
freaking
by
good.
far. Best traditional R&B performance. Bet Ain't Worth the Hand, Leon Bridges. That song's great, actually. Briette Levette, Don't Fall Apart on Me Tonight. Major, Honest, PJ Morton featuring Yeba. How Deep Is Your Love? My mom loves that song. Charlie Wilson featuring Layla Hathaway, Made for Love. Love the Charlie Wilson. This is going to go to Leon Bridges.
I hope it's Leon.
Bet Ain't Worth the Hand. Good song. Solid song. Tough one. This is another tough one.
This is a hard one.
Best R&B song. LMA, Boot Up. Miguel, Come Through and Chill. One of the most slept on songs of the last year. Gambino, Feels Like Summer.
That
Her,
song is great.
very slept on as well. Her, Focus. Focus is an amazing. That's Her's best song, other than being a part of Best Part. And then Tony Braxton, Long As I Live. Best R&B song. I have to go with Boot Up.
Boot Up.
Let's Boot Up.
Boot Up.
Come Through and Chill. I love that got
Boot Up.
nominated.
Boot Up.
Best Urban Contemporary
Boot Up
album.
is the R&B equivalent of Bodak Yellow.
Okay.
Slung her into the spotlight. She's doing her thing.
I see where you're going.
Hasn't messed up yet. Keeps coming through with songs.
I see where you're going.
Say
I'm not
wrong.
mad. I'm not mad at it. Best Urban Contemporary album. For albums containing at least 51% playing time of newly recorded contemporary vocal tracks, derivative R&B. What that means for us is songs that have a little bit of everything in them, but they're still R&B.
I would say the Carters.
The Carters,
Me
Everything Is
personally.
Love. Chloe and Halle, The Kids Are All Right. Chris and Dave Drummonds, Miguel, Warren
Friends
Leisure.
is the most slept on track of, you could argue it's one of the most slept on tracks of 2018.
Yeah, I think the Carters are going to get their Grammy for this one.
And
Kind
they're
of
not
cool,
going to be
husband
there.
and
though.
wife. I
They're
don't know.
not going to be there.
No, they don't do Grammys.
Nah.
But Everything Is Love, kind of cool. I don't know of any other husband and wife. I mean, I know there's probably been some, but that's cool.
Yeah.
Getting a Grammy together.
Yeah.
Best R&B album. Tony Braxton, Sex and Cigarettes, Good Thing, Leon Bridges, Layla Hathaway, Honestly, Her, self-titled, PJ Morton, Gumbo Unplugged. I think this is either going to go to Her. I see a world, though, in which it could go to Leon Bridges. Good Thing.
Yep.
Best rap performance, getting good. Be Careful, Cardi B. By the way, this is the weirdest nomination for her, I think. I understand why album's there. I get that completely, but
I don't.
This
song should not have been selected for anything.
This was weird, right? I'm glad it's not just me. Who
I
thinks
Like
that.
It or Bodak Yellow. Those were her two big hits. Because I remember listening to I Like It, and I even texted you, I think she's got another smash hit.
Yeah.
that's
Be
what
Careful,
happened.
Cardi B. Drake, Nice for What? Kendrick Lamar, J Rock, Future, James Blake,
I don't
King's
get
Dead.
why that song was selected for multiple awards either.
I don't know.
I
love that song.
I cannot
but I
let
don't
Future
understand.
win an award off of that verse. It can't happen. In my head, it cannot happen. Okay?
Anderson .Paak, Bubbling, Travis Scott, Drake, Sway Lee, Sicko Mode.
I give it to Sicko Mode because as a performance, you literally get 3 songs in one.
I think it's Sicko Mode, and I don't think it's very close, to be honest with you.
That song has grown on me to be a absolute gem.
That
of a
song
track.
controls the clubs right now. The best rap / sung performance, Like I Do, Christina Aguilera featuring GoldLink. I think it's funny because that's the one I talked about on the podcast being the only good one on that whole album. This was cool. Black featuring J. Cole, Pretty Little Fears.
Yep.
Gambino, This Is America, Kendrick, All the Stars, and Rockstar.
I think All the
Post
Stars are
Malone.
winning.
and 21 Savage. I think it's probably All the Stars. Yeah, I just
which
don't
actually
think,
is, I forget that song came out this year, but that
Really good.
record's actually very, very good.
really good.
You could not get away from that song.
No. Best rap song: God's Plan, King's Dead, Lucky You, Sicko Mode, and Win. First of all, extremely happy for J-Rock getting a solo nomination. He should totally look at that as a win in itself.
I actually think this was a good list besides King's Dead. I did not think King's Dead is a top song.
No.
You look at every single rap song that came out this year, and you're gonna give it to King's Dead.
And
look, I can get you putting in that track or the album, whatever. I think the Creed album was better personally.
Yeah.
That's just me. I didn't like this selection.
And I feel similar about Lucky You. I don't get it, and I understand that streaming numbers are there for that. I understand that streaming numbers is probably why it's there.
Rap.
I get it, but I didn't hear this like in the streets. Like I didn't.
No, it was here for 1 week. It was the number. It was in the top 10 for 1 week, and then it was gone.
I'm just best rap song. I hear Sicko Mode all the time. I hear Win. I hear God's Plan. I couldn't get away from.
I don't
God's
hear
Plan.
Win personally.
I hear Win. Just,
if we're gonna talk about hits, I think it's Sicko Mode and God's Plan.
I think God's Plan has a chance of getting this. I really do.
I could see that. However, I would personally give the record to Sicko Mode because
I can see that.
I've even seen on Twitter, they're like, we need to acknowledge actually how good Sicko Mode is. It's actually one of also the first songs that we listened to that has multiple transitions that at first I was like, oh, I wish it was just the like a like part. And I've heard people say, oh, I wish it was just Drake's first part. And then you keep listening to it and you're like, wait, I actually just like the whole song being what it is. You're even rapping like the chopped and screwed parts. I just think
Sicko Mode's probably gonna win. I'm good with that or God's Plan.
It's the most creative song. That's why I think it should win. I think we need to celebrate creativity, trying something different. And if it hits, then I think we need to celebrate that. And I think Sicko Mode did that well.
Best rap album: Cardi B, Invasion of Privacy, Mac Miller, Swimming, Nipsey Hussle, Victory Lap, Pusha T, Daytona, Travis Scott, Astroworld. I love that Victory Lap got a nom. I mean, I've been banging that album consistently. That's something that no one talks about.
To me.
I didn't expect it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I saw this coming, but when I first heard the album, I was like, this is a great album that no one but me is gonna listen to. But it's dope to me. I actually see a world in which Pusha T wins this. I like the Pusha T album a lot. It's in my top 10, spoiler alert. But I don't think it should win. I think it should probably be Astroworld, Travis Scott. But I see a world in which Daytona Pusha T is that outside weird one that wins because of what it did community-wise, right?
Okay.
The controversy with the Drake, and then you have the back and forth, and I think that there's a little bit of salaciousness and a little bit of ratings that people want to see. I'm gonna say that it's either gonna be Cardi, Pusha, or Travis. I can actually see Cardi winning this too, to be honest with you.
I wouldn't be surprised if Mac Miller wins it. Personally.
I wouldn't either, by the way.
Because it's a thing. It's a moment.
People do that. Yep. I wouldn't be surprised. So that's going to be one to keep an eye on. Very interesting one. Gonna skip the country ones. Gonna skip new age jazz. Those are mostly, we went through pop and hip hop. That's pretty much what we listen to the most.
Hip hop, R&B.
And R&B. Those are what drives everything. I will say that I know that Dave Chappelle is nominated.
Let's go to the video
for,
one. Isn't there a video one that we can do?
New age. Let's see.
Because Tierra Whack gets a nod. That's why I was like, that's dope.
Yeah.
By the way, I literally have Kirk Cousins and Adam Thielen, right, playing, and I'm only behind by 11 points, and so far they've only scored 1 point. Adam Thielen and Kirk Cousins. It's almost the end of the half.
While we look for the Tierra Whack one, I will say the best song written for visual media intrigues me. Bro, Kendrick could win a lot of Grammys.
Mm-hmm.
For these other categories that people don't talk about a lot. All the Stars, Mystery of Love, Remember Me, Coco.
Dude, that song hit me in my feels.
That song?
Were you ready for that movie?
No.
Okay.
No. I told my sister she needs to watch it, but I was like, hey, like, text dad first and just like ask him how he's doing. Like, don't like watch it if you have like drama.
Yeah. I still see people on Twitter going, I'm watching Coco and I was not ready for this.
No, 100%. Coco's different. Coco.
That's why it's one of my favorite Pixar movies of
Coco's
all time.
different. Shallow, This Is Me. That was the Greatest Showman thing. But yeah,
Oh, gosh,
Kendrick could
the
definitely win that.
greatest stinking showman.
Do you like that movie or no?
I mean, I get it, but it's that movie was the biggest surprise of 2018 in my opinion for movie.
Oh, we got to talk about this. Producer of the Year. Boy Wonder.
Okay.
Larry Klein, Linda Perry, Kanye West, Pharrell Williams. Now, this is an interesting one. We're going to give you a quick rundown of the songs that came out this year that gave these producers these are the songs the Academy looked at and said, this is why we're nominating you. So for Boy Wonder, Be Careful, Diplomatic Immunity, Friends, God's Plan, Hear About Us, Lucky You, Mob Ties, and No Limit. Okay, we'll skip the people we don't know. Kanye West, Daytona, Kids See Ghosts, KTSE, Nasir, Ye, basically all of the songs that he did the 7-song series with, all of the albums he did that with. Pharrell Williams, Ape-ish, Man in the Woods, Justin Timberlake, No One Ever Really Dies, Nerd, Stir Fry Migos, and Sweetener. Ariana
Boy
Grande.
Wonder, get that Grammy, bro.
I think it's Boy Wonder.
Get that Grammy, bro.
I think it's Boy Wonder.
He's got too.
I think
God's
it's Boy
Plan is
Wonders.
in way too many places to not get
God's
that
Plan,
Grammy.
No Limit.
Dude, I didn't know he did Friends.
By the way,
Which is
how
my
is
favorite
No
song.
Limit not nominated for some of like the song ones? That
Yeah,
song
that's
was
true.
huge, I thought.
Yeah.
But yeah, he did Friends, and Friends is nuts. So that's one too. I'm not sure where Tierra Whack is. Not finding her, but I will say that everything that she's ever nominated for, I want her to win. Video
Right
and film. Tierra Whack. So for best music video, Ape-ish, This Is America, I'm Not Racist, Joyner Lucas, Janelle Monáe, Pink, and Mumbo Jumbo, Tierra Whack. I want Tierra Whack to win this.
Me too.
It's going to go to This Is America.
And it should, honestly.
And it should. But Tierra Whack winning a Grammy off of an album that has a song limit of like a minute. Like there's something historic about that. You know what I mean? Like this is different.
But I definitely think it should go to This Is America.
Yeah, that was culturally. When they do documentaries, they're gonna see a This Is America snip.
Though, just like the break, when you have to break down a music video and that video takes you 20 minutes, you deserve something.
Yeah, I agree. Guys, we have broken down all of the Grammy nominations. We have talked about all of the new music that's out. We have given you our good, bad. This was a longer episode, hour and a half, but we had to break down the Grammys. We hope that you guys enjoy it. We hope that you guys have a wonderful week getting all your Christmas shopping done. Dobie, anything you want to add before we close out?
Nah, man, just make sure if you guys want to listen, go on Spotify. Oh, my goodness gracious.
Go on Spotify. We are there. We're going to be on Google Play very soon. iTunes, as always. Daps and Pounds. ENT.com is the website. You can listen straight from the website and download and take it in your pocket. You can do all that cool stuff. Make sure you get in contact with us on Daps_Pounds on Instagram and Twitter. Dobie, we're going to close this show out the only way we know how. That's 101 conversation starters for couples. What we got this week?
In the movie The Karate Kid, young Daniel is befriended by an old Japanese man who teaches him karate, but more importantly, offers him kindness and encouragement. Name an older person who bless you with kindness and encouragement.
I don't know if it's cheating to do someone you're related to, but my grandfather. My grandfather was my rock. He was everything. He was my guy. He would give me the funniest advice in the world, but the most meaningful, on his deathbed, I was going through a breakup of a 4-year relationship. He knew nothing about the trouble. He was dying of cancer, looked at me and said, everything's going to be all right. It's my grandpa, man.
Yeah, that's
my grandpa.
Swag, dude.
What about you?
So for me, I would probably say this lady named Debbie. When I used to work for the city, in front of City Hall, she like would just chat with me, see how I'm doing, and then it got to the point where
I think I know this. You told me this before.
yeah, and then it got to the point where she's like, "Hey, can you do some landscaping at my house?" And then it just came to the fact like she would hit me up every now and then to do things around her house, and then I would just see how she was doing, and she'd always just give me encouragement. She never liked my ex, which is funny. She even met her, and she's like, "Nope, don't like her,"
That's hilarious.
which is kind of funny.
That's great.
So yeah, it was just she was just somebody who was always looking out for my best interest, and yeah, I remember.
Shout out to Debbie. Shout out to Debbie for life.
Yeah.
Guys, it's been a wonderful, wonderful episode. Felt great. Did you feel great?
Feel good.
I feel good. Guys, we're going to have more details to you about Google Play, about the end of season 2, the beginning of season 3 very soon, and all of the love in between. Thank you so much for tuning in the podcast. My name is Malky. To my left, we have
Dobie.
Represent 2 mics.
2 friends.
And 1 show.
The Daps and Pound Show.
Shout out to the shout out.
Gang, gang, gang.